What's up everyone, my name's PlatinumHowler, coach of your Delta Gligars. Today I'm bringing you my Week 5 match of the APA Academy versus FlameHorizon and his Minnesota Lycanrocs. You can see his team over on the right side of the screen. He's currently 1-3 and coming off his first win of the season, a spectacular 6-0 win, thanks to his trusty Corviknight, as you can see at the top of his team. So his team, he's brought Corviknight and Lapras to all 4 games so far. Every single other mon on his team he has not brought more than twice, which is pretty interesting. So he has brought all 11 mons on his team, whereas until now we had only brought 8 of our 11 mons on our team, but we're gonna make it 9 this week. So this team this week, I wanted to make an effort to bring some different stuff because I think it's pretty obvious that I have a very strong top 6 mons on my team, top 6 or 7 mons on my team. Yeah, I'd say top 7. I have a pretty strong top 7. So we're in a good spot right now in the season, 4-0 with 6 weeks left, and I want to make sure that by the time we hit the transaction deadline, that I have a good idea of what kind of transactions that I want to make so I can make this team as good as it possibly can be. And that's going to involve some testing, which I'm trying to do a little bit of that in this game, but I couldn't bring certain mons that just don't have a matchup in my opinion, so like I couldn't try to force to bring like Togetic or Drampa or anything like that, but I could, I did the best that I could. So let's get it started now. This Mimikyu set is pretty standard, but you look at his team and you take Corviknight away and you take G-Max Lapras away, and he has nothing for this Mimikyu. Nothing whatsoever. His fast mons like Alolan Raichu and Excelgor will just get blown back by +2 Life Orb Shadow Sneak. The only thing that he could really do to try to stop this is if he had Persian with Foul Play or something. And I really hope Persian doesn't come for that reason. I don't know if he would have thought of designing a Persian set like that to get around the absolute monster that is Mimikyu to his team. But yeah, so basically the plan is to get rid of Corviknight very early on and then just absolutely go to town with Mimikyu. Copperajah is making its debut, finally! I won my rocks up early in this game, and Copperajah is going to help us do that. We are jolly near max speed because with this investment, we outspeed uninvested Corviknight by 1 point. If he were to throw like just 4 EVs into speed, then he would speed tie us, but hopefully he doesn't do that. Focus Sash, we can live any hit. This is more than likely going to be our lead just so we can get Stealth Rocks up right away. Sheer Force Ironhead hits Tyranitar harder than Heavy Slam would, and also Heavy Slam, like weight-based moves don't work against Gigantamax Pokemon, so if I was Heat Crash Heavy Slam, I'd have absolutely no way of touching the Lapras, so that's why I'm doing Sheer Force Ironhead. And I don't need the weight boost from Heavy Metal for Heat Crash to be dealing maximum damage to the Corviknight. And then we just threw on Whirlwind there as a last move to Whirlwind out any setup threats that might be getting out of hand, such as like if he has like a Rock Polish Golurk or something, if he has a Rock Polish or Dragon Dance Tyranitar that he like decides to lead off with and set up right away, then we can go for a Whirlwind. Can Whirlwind out a Bulk Up Corviknight, but I really don't think Bulk Up Corviknight is the bring this week, just because I have so many things that can hit it hard on the special side that I don't really think it's worth setting up. If he does bring Corviknight, I'm going to expect him to run U-turn on it because Torkoal is a pretty obvious switch in to the Corviknight. So I think that he would want to U-turn out against whenever he gets Corviknight in a advantageous position, and I think he would want a U-turn out. So if we can predict him to go for a U-turn and bring in our Necrozma, Necrozma is going to get a weakness policy boost and going to be in very good shape to just punch a giant hole through his team. So I have 3 coverage moves: Photon Geyser, Brick Break at +2. I'm never clicking this against Tyranitar unless I have my weakness policy boost. Because this Brick Break, while it should 2-hit KO, I don't particularly want to take a crunch from him. And I don't really want Necrozma in with Sandstorm up because my recovery will be nerfed if I am in that situation. So yeah, I mean, like, if I catch Tyranitar on a switch with Brick Break, then I can 2-hit KO him. Heat Wave there for the Corviknight again. I want to make sure that the Corviknight isn't sticking around for very long. And the Morning Sun, I could have gone for a setup move like Autotomize or something, but I honestly don't feel like I need the speed boost to just be able to punch a hole through his team with Necrozma. I honestly would rather have the Morning Sun recovery, because then I can also use this as a switch-in to certain things, such as the Goodra, such as his Torkoal, if he decides to bring his Torkoal. That's a very interesting dynamic, him having both Torkoal and Tyranitar. I would definitely think Tyranitar is coming to this game, but I don't know if he would want to bring that and Torkoal both. We'll find out about that, I guess. We're also bringing back Gallade this week. Gallade just like Mimikyu, just completely destroys this man's team. So the idea with Mimikyu is, the idea with Gallade is to bait in the Corviknight early on by setting up Swords Dance, because there's really not much on his team that can deal with Gallade at +2 other than a Corviknight. So that's how I plan on breaking the Corviknight, is getting the Gallade in against the Tyranitar preferably, because I don't think Tyranitar wants to stay in against Gallade. And then I can set up a Swords Dance, click Close Combat, and just force that thing to end this exchange really low. Like, either he can't root stall me at +2. Like, max defense Corviknight is taking like 70% for +2 close combat, and then if he wants to kill me, he more than likely runs Brave Bird over something like Drill Peck. Well, I don't know, he could run either, but either way, he will end the exchange at a very low amount of HP, and he won't be able to deal with, like, if I drop in Necrozma after that and just click Heat Wave, then he's just gonna let it die. Like, there's nothing he can do. He has to let it go, and then when Mimikyu comes in later in the game, Corviknight will be out of its way, and it can just have an absolute field day. So Poison Jab and Leaf Blade there are the last coverage moves, so that we can hit Aromatisse, and Leaf Blade is for Golurk. I'm aware that Knockoff does more damage to Golurk, but I'm not I don't really plan on attacking the Golurk unless I'm at +2, and Leaf Blade does quite a bit of damage at +2 to the Golurk. If he'd have to be like max HP, max defense if he wanted to live that. If he wanted to have a chance at living that. And I'm just running Leaf Blade because I feel like there's a greater chance that he brings Cobra Berry than he would bring Rindo Berry on the Golurk. So that's really the only reason why we have Leaf Blade. And we're actually running Leftovers so that we can cancel out the Sandstorm chip from the Tyranitar. Torkoal. Very strange Torkoal set because it does not have Drought. I'm bringing Torkoal with no Sun. This could be incredibly stupid, but the reasoning behind this is because I honestly feel like I don't need the Sun to make my game plan work for this game, and I'd rather have Shell Armor so that I don't get crit by a high crit ratio move in Stone Edge. Yeah, this is an insurance policy against Dragon Dance Tyranitar. Body Press just destroys that thing. We have Rapid Spin to get rid of like Toxic Spikes or Spikes from an Excelgor wanting to set those up potentially. We have some speed creep on here to try to outspeed his own Torkoal if he decides to bring that, so we can 2-hit KO him with an Earth Power. And then Lava Plume, you know, if Stab Fire type move, hopefully gets some burns on stuff. And lastly, Heliolisk is back again for its second appearance of this season. And we are running Dry Skin, obviously, because we don't have Sun, so why would we run Solar Power? This thing is kind of meant to take on the Gigantamax Lapras. It's immune to Max Geyser. Nothing is immune to G-Max Resonance, though. So we're gonna try to live 2 hits from the Gigantamax Lapras. We can set up a light screen so that the second one doesn't knock us out. We can glare him if he turns out to be a Dragon Dance Lapras. That is low-key a big threat for this team. Dragon Dance Gigantamax Lapras. Like if he clicks Dragon Dance as I switch out into something else to deal with it, could be in a lot of trouble. That's why we have Focus Sash, so that we can attempt to live a hit from that and slow it down with a Glare. And then from that point on, we'll just have to stall out the G-Max Resonance turns on his side. We'd be like, I won't lie, I will hope for some paras against that if that's the set that he actually brings. So I could have brought Weavile here. Weavile would have outsped Dragon Dance, Lapras, and Tyranitar naturally. Like, I could have ran enough speed so that when they get boosted to +1 that they're not fast enough for Weavile. And I could have had like Brick Break just to hit them both. But hopefully the fact that that is a very real possibility just deters him from bringing those sets all together. Yeah, so I hope I don't regret not bringing Weavile, because Weavile is like one of the top kill leaders in the league right now, believe it or not. That and Necrozma too. Like, I think Weavile and Necrozma on my team both are in like the top 5 in kill leaders right now. And so it's kind of crazy to imagine not bringing one of the league kill leaders to a game. But as I said, this is sort of a test week to see how my lesser used Mons, whether they still deserve their spot on my roster, basically. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm really going to have to think about how I want this team to look come playoff time. So that's going to be the team. Make sure you stay tuned for the battle tomorrow. Leave a like on this video. Comment down below what you think of some of the interesting sets we're bringing this week. And subscribe to the channel to keep up with all of our Draft League content. Until tomorrow, see you later.